Having an appointment setter for your insurance business can be the ultimate game changer. Now, if it wasn't for my gal, I probably wouldn't have been like the #1 producer for 5-star life insurance company back in, when was that, 2014. And I probably wouldn't have been Security National Life's #1 producing agent in 2015, and then again in 2016, and then in 2017. Meanwhile, I was actually writing a lot of other companies too. Man, I was really good, if I do say so myself. And you know what's crazy? Is that we totally share my system with you on this channel. In this amazing and monumental video, I'm going to share with you the secrets to using and hiring an appointment setter. But first, smash down on that like button and subscribe. Make sure the notifications are turned on. That way you're notified when we put out our newer videos. And I'm also going to give you something I have never ever given away. The exact appointment setting script that my appointment setter uses. Now, this thing has been tweaked and used by the very best in the industry. So if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of this appointment setting phone script that my appointment setter uses so that you can use it for your appointment setter too. Before we get started, here's some of the things that I'm going to go over in this video. 1, the correct way to use an appointment setter without wasting your time or your money. 2, how much you should be paying your appointment setter. 3, how to turn your appointment setter into an assistant that will actually want to work with you for the rest of your life. And 4, how to hire and train your appointment setter / assistant. Oh, and 5, where to look for and how you can easily find the right person that will actually do the job and do it well at a high level. I noticed that you didn't smash down on that thumbs up button. What gives, yo? Just stick around. For me to find my assistant, it took more time than it should have. And yes, I had to roll through a few people to find the right person for the job. I didn't have an actual office at the time, so I had a hard time finding and training the people that we actually went through. I mean, how do you know they're any good when you have never used an appointment setter and you're not sitting next to them while you're training them, right? Well, here's your pro tip right off the bat. If you try to use someone who is already setting appointments and they're asking for a lot of money, usually around $20 or $25 per set appointment, just make sure they give you referrals and then you need to call those referrals. If they can't give you any, don't even think about working with them. Unfortunately, most setters that already have their own business tend to only set appointments with those low-hanging fruit. In other words, they're going to only call through your leads maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the day instead of like the 5 or 6+ times that they should be calling. Unfortunately, no one is going to call through and work your leads the way that you, the agent who's paying all the money for the leads, will call through and work your leads. One other thing, if you're trying to use an appointment setter who's already in the business, she or he will probably only call your leads if you're working direct mail leads. Facebook leads are really hard to get on the phone, and your typical experienced appointment setters, well, they're going to know this, and they're not going to want to mess with them. This is why you want to hire and train someone who is good on the phone but has never been an insurance appointment setter before. And now you can train them to work the telephone appointment setting script exactly the way you want them to, and you can use different types of leads, including Facebook leads and the even cheaper telemarketed leads. My favorite place to find talented professionals is the website called Indeed.com. Now, I've used this thing to hire people that have worked with me and for me throughout the years, a bunch of different people, and most of them have been pretty darn good. Just make sure to set up interviews with multiple people, and if possible, find someone local to you so you can actually meet them in person. You're going to find that hiring people will always go better if you can meet them face to face, belly to belly, before committing to them, as people are always different in person than they are on the phone. However, don't just judge a book by its cover. And most important, if you can find someone local to you, now you can train them face to face at a coffee shop or like a public park or something. That way, you can make some calls right in front of them and have them make some calls right in front of you. And of course, a spouse would be great. A family member, awesome. Just remember, you really want to hire someone that you can trust most of all. I know what you're thinking. How much money should I pay the appointment setter, right? Okay, now you're asking the right question. And to me, this is important, so I'm just going to share a little hot tip. If you are going to call for someone and spend hours on the phone doing what most people, A, hate doing, and B, are not very good at, are you going to ask for some insignificant amount of money like $10 or $15 per hour? No, of course not. And I think you know where I'm heading with this. The suggested pay is between $15 and $20 per set appointment, whether you get no-showed, stood up, or whether they're actually there. And this is super important too, so wakey wakey, you're going to want to tip your assistant every single week. Now hold on. I'm not talking about like 10 or 20 bucks, but more like, I don't know, 100, 150 bucks per week. Don't be a cheapskate, or you're going to end up blowing through one decent assistant after another. Remember, we all deserve to get paid what we're worth, right? So how do you know if your setter is actually working hard the way that you taught them to, or, I don't know, if they're just slacking? And yeah, that's a really good question too. So here's how I look at it. Since you're the one training them and you know how well you do when you call, just expect them to do almost as good. Remember, like I said earlier, you're the one paying top dollar for your leads, so nobody, not even your assistant, will spend the time and effort working your leads the way that you should be working them. Realistically, your appointment setter will, well, probably not be as vigilant as you are with your leads, but they should be close. So if you can turn 30 leads into 12 appointments on average, then your assistant should be able to get at least 10 appointments on average from those same 30 leads. And that's it, guys. Short and sweet, baby. For a copy of the exact appointment setting script that my gal uses, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. And for more information on learning how to become a top producing final expense and or Medicare agent, just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember, guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Get on out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.